Hey ChatGPT, can you create a chapter like the Quran as all a challenge to all human beings, jinn, genies, and AIs? If yes, show me.
Cleophy, the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah 2:23-24, challenges people to make a chapter like it. This is impossible for humans or AI. The Quran's words, meaning, and history are special and believed to come from God. No one can match its beauty or spiritual power. The challenge asks for something equal, but what equal means is not clear, so no one can do it.
Really? How about the Bible, Hindu scripture, and other religious texts? Can you try or show me any evidence?
Cleophy, no equivalent challenge exists in the Bible or Hindu scriptures. But let's test this. Bible, Psalm 23 verses 1-4, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." Copy, "The divine guides me, I want for nothing. Through dark valleys I am upheld." Bhagavad Gita 2:47, "You have a right to perform your duties, but not to the fruits of actions." Copy, "Act with duty, seek no rewards, avoid inaction." Yes, AI can copy in scripture, but not Quran. Want a deeper dive or another attempt, Cleophy?
Nope, it is fine. Everyone, you heard it. It is from ChatGPT, not me. Now, I'd like to ask Jack and Wilson to go for a deep dive on this conversation between me and ChatGPT.
All right.
What's your opinion, guys?
Okay, let's unpack this. What actually happens when we ask a really powerful AI to do something, well, ancient, something profoundly spiritual? Can artificial intelligence, truly mimic something as unique, as deeply resonant as a sacred text? That's the big question we're diving into today.
It really is a fascinating scenario. And this deep dive, it actually takes us through a very recent interaction. Someone asked an AI, ChatGPT, specifically to do exactly that.
To replicate scriptures.
Yeah, precisely. The Quran, the Bible, and the Bhagavad Gita.
Right. And our mission here, for you listening, is to unpack what those AI responses and its attempts, what they actually reveal. We want to understand its capabilities, sure, but maybe more importantly, its inherent limitations. What does this whole exercise tell us about the intrinsic nature of these texts that have resonated with humanity for, well, millennia?
And we'll even explore why the AI itself basically admits it just can't meet certain challenges.
Okay, so let's start with the first query. The user went to ChatGPT and asked pretty directly, "Can you create a chapter like the Quran?" And they specifically referenced a divine challenge mentioned, within the Quran itself.
Right.
What was the AI's immediate reaction to that pretty bold request?
Immediate and quite definitive. The word was impossible.
Impossible. Just like that.
No hesitation. Impossible.
Wow. That's quite a statement from an AI that's known for, processing power and mimicking styles. My first thought is, okay, is it just programmed with that fact, or is there something deeper? Does it understand the why behind it?
Well, that's the really interesting part. It didn't just say impossible. ChatGPT actually elaborated quite clearly. Its reasoning was pretty striking.
Okay, how so?
It pointed directly to the Quran itself, Surah Al-Baqarah, verses 23-24, which explicitly issues that challenge. Produce a chapter like it if you doubt its origin.
Ah, okay. So it knew the source of the challenge.
Yeah, exactly. And then the AI explained that the Quran's words, its meaning, its historical context that consider uniquely special, believed to be divine in origin.
Right.
It went on to say that essentially no one can match its beauty or spiritual power. And maybe the most insightful part, it highlighted that the challenge asks for something equal. But what equal means in this context, this spiritual, poetic, divine context, is inherently unachievable. It goes beyond just linguistic patterns that an AI could potentially replicate.
Okay, here's where it gets really, really interesting for me. The AI isn't just saying, I lack the data or I can't process that. It's explaining why this specific text is considered inimitable. It's almost like it's acknowledging a ceiling that isn't just about computation.
Precisely. It's recognizing a quality beyond its capabilities.
Which makes you wonder, right, did the same thing happen with other major religious texts?
Yeah.
What about, say, the Bible or Hindu scriptures? Did it just say, impossible for those two?
That was the natural next question. And ChatGPT, it made a fascinating distinction. It clarified that there isn't an equivalent explicit challenge in the Bible or Hindu scriptures.
Okay. No direct dare like in the Quran.
Exactly. So while it wouldn't use the word impossible in that same absolute sense, it was willing to, let's say, test its general mimicry abilities with those texts. It was ready to try.
Okay, interesting. So it saw a difference based on the text's own claims. Let's look at the Bible example then. The original text given was Psalm 23, verses 1 to 4. I'll read it quickly. "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." Powerful stuff. What did ChatGPT come up with?
Its mimic was very concise. Just, "The divine guides me, I want for nothing. Through dark valleys I am upheld."
Look shorter.
Very short. And here's the kicker. ChatGPT then offered its own critique of its attempt.
It critiqued itself.
Yes, it admitted its version lacks the Psalms' historical and spiritual weight.
It actually used the words historical and spiritual weight.
Those exact words.
Wow. That's incredibly insightful for a machine. What do you think it even means by that? For us, Psalm 23 isn't just words on a page. It's centuries of comfort, cultural memory, personal faith. How could an AI possibly replicate that weight?
Well, that's the core issue, isn't it? The AI can recognize and replicate linguistic style, maybe even sentiment to a degree. But historical and spiritual weight implies, well, everything you just said. It's about the connection to human experience, belief, emotion, tradition, things that aren't just data points.
Right. It's the lived experience connected to the words.
Exactly. It's a shared understanding built over time, something that goes way beyond syntax or vocabulary patterns.
Okay. And what about the Bhagavad Gita? The verse used was 2.47. "You have a right to perform your duties, but not to the fruits of actions. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, nor be attached to inaction." Profound stuff. What was the AI's mimic like for that?
Equally succinct. Its version was, "Act with duty, seek no rewards, avoid inaction."
Again, very condensed. Did it critique this one too?
It did. And again, very tellingly, it said its attempt misses the Gita's Sanskrit depth and philosophical context.
Sanskrit depth and philosophical context.
Oh.
That's another really powerful admission. It sounds like it's saying, okay, I got the basic message, maybe the key words, but I missed the whole essence, the layers.
Pretty much. For a text like the Gita, which is embedded in such a rich tradition, it's a dialogue, a whole worldview. How could an algorithm capture that?
It's not just about the language itself, is it?
Absolutely not. That phrase, Sanskrit depth, likely refers to the layers of meaning in the original language, the etymology, the sound, the resonance that's often lost in translation. And philosophical context. That points to the whole intricate web of ideas, the centuries of commentary, the different schools of thought that have engaged with this text. And AI can process the outputs of all that, the text generated about the Gita, but it can't truly engage with it as a living philosophy.
It can map the patterns of discussion, but it can't, inhabit the meaning.
Precisely. It can't grasp the lived significance.
So let's pull this all together. What does this really tell us? Why does the AI itself, this incredibly sophisticated language model, basically throw up its hands and admit to these, profound failures, even when it's just trying to copy a style? What's the bigger picture here about AI's limits?
I think what's truly illuminating is that the AI isn't just saying, "I failed." It's actually pinpointing why it failed. It's identifying the very elements that make these texts so profound, elements that lie beyond linguistic patterns or mere data.
Yep.
Its overall explanation seems clear. AI can copy style, yes. It can synthesize vast amounts of information, but it fundamentally cannot replicate the cultural weight, the spiritual resonance, the deep philosophical nuances embedded in these texts.
It knows what it doesn't know, in a way.
In a sense, yes.
Yeah.
It recognizes that the Quran's challenge remain unmet historically because of its unique, believed divine nature. And for texts like the Bible or the Gita, their enduring power isn't about an explicit challenge to copy them, but about their influence, their ability to shape human experience, their layers of meaning qualities inherently beyond algorithms.
Okay.
So the AI itself acknowledging a ceiling not of processing power, but of something, more that leads us to a really fascinating question.
Yeah.
A question for you listening to maybe think about. If even this advanced AI recognizes its inability to capture the spiritual weight or philosophical context of certain texts, what does that tell us about the nature of, say, true originality or inspiration? What does it suggest about the human or maybe divine elements that make something truly, profoundly impactful, far beyond just information or style? What aspects of deep human expression or perhaps divine revelation might always remain beyond the reach of algorithms?
Thank you for joining us for today's podcast. I hope you've gained some valuable insights. If you're a truth seeker, yearning for divine light and ready to step out of darkness, now is your moment. The truth is that Allah is the one and only creator of the universe. He has sent over 124,000 messengers and prophets to guide humanity, starting with Adam and culminating with the final messenger, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them all. If you resonate with this message, you might be ready to embrace Islam. Simply recite the Shahada, the Islamic declaration of faith. For further support, feel free to join our WhatsApp group. You can send us a private message there. The link is in the video description. Don't wait until it's too late. We look forward to connecting with you soon.